Hi, I'd like to welcome you all in this new course of Android app development. This is our first lecture, and in this lecture, we'll be creating an app which looks similar to this. We have an app which will load a particular website. Are you excited? So, let's do it. This is our Android Studio. In order to create a new project, or let's say a new app, we go to File, New, and click on New Project. We have got plenty of options, or let's say these are the templates we can choose from. But for our project, we select an empty activity. So we click on empty activity, go to next. We give a name starting with a capital letter, and we select, we've got options like Java and Kotlin. So we select Java, and for the minimum SDK, we can leave the default one. So we hit on finish. So after clicking on finish, we are provided with this sort of structure in the Android Studio. Now we'll have a small walkthrough of the Android Studio. Based on our preferences, we can select different views. Currently, we are in Android view. So in the Android view, we are provided with the main folders which we need in order to create an app. Apart from this, we have got other views like the package view. So sometimes when we need to view the libraries which we are using, then we need the package view. So for now, we'll stick to the Android view. Now let's have a look around in the Android Studio. First, this button is the Run button. So after finishing the app creation, when we click on this, our app is launched. This is where we can create our virtual machine, or let's say sometimes when we don't have a real machine or a real mobile phone, then we can create a virtual mobile phone from our computer. So for that, let's click on the virtual run, click on open AVD manager. A dialog box will pop up like this, and then create a virtual device. Now we've got plenty of options which we can select. For our project, I'm selecting Nexus 4. Okay, it's like our app is running on a real Nexus 4 machine. I click on next. Then I've got many options from which we can create our app, or many APIs. This one, these two, they are already downloaded. So I need not download, or I need not check all of this. I simply click on the ones which does not have a download text. I click on this and I click on next. And in this, I give my virtual machine a name. It's like this, a virtual run. So I give a name, let's say a name, and then I click on finish. For now, I'm canceling because it takes a lot of time. So after creating all of this, the name of the virtual machine is displayed like this. Then I simply click on run. We will look at this later in our lecture, but for now, this is how we create a virtual machine. Now, this Gradle, it is used to build our Android app. It's like creating a .exe file for the Windows. It creates a .apk file for the Android. Okay. Now let's go to the three main important folders. First one, will start with the manifest. The manifest file is like the index of the whole app. So let's say you want to change the icon of your app, or you want to change the name of your app, or you want to specify which are the activities you're using in your app, or let's say you want to change the theme of your app from blue color to the red color, All of these things, they are specified in the Android manifest file. Or sometimes we want to use the permissions. We cannot use the internet until and unless Android gives us internet permission. So for everything, at first we need a permission. These are written above the application because until and unless we are permitted, we cannot use the application. It's better to remember it that way. Now let's go to our folder number 2, and this is Java folder, and this is where we create our activity. Activity in Android term is like a web page or a page in your website. Let's say we say home page in our website. So in the Android language, we say home activity. So this is our activity, and then this activity is now calling activity main. It's like you have created a PHP file and now you want to use the CSS in order to decorate your PHP file. So our CSS, or let's say our XML code, is inside R. So R represents the RES folder. So we go to R, and then this layout represents this thing or this folder layout, and then among these we select activity main. So this means main activity is using activity underscore main inside the layout folder. So our activity underscore main looks like this, but sometimes we need to change the layout. Let's say we have got this sort of layout and we want to use this inside our main activity, then simply we can replace activity underscore main with this name, right? So instead of activity underscore main, this layout is loaded in our activity. Okay, so this is how we run, and in order to run in our real device, we need to enable our developer option. For that, we should enable the USB debugging, and then we can run our app. For that, we need to connect our phone using the USB cable, enable the USB debugging, and then click on the run option. The device is shown here. Like, let's say you're using a Xiaomi phone, then the Xiaomi phone is displayed here, and then you can simply run it. Like we said before, res folder is used for the design purpose. So we go to layout. Let's say we click on a particular layout which we are interested. Then you can see we are provided with plenty of options, or with plenty of views. So when we click on palette, we can select, let's say, a button, and we can simply drag and drop the button. We click on the button and we can drag and drop. Or let's say we need a text, or we need a text view, then we can simply drag and drop the text view. Now let's say I want to change the property of this text view, then I should click on the text view, then I go to the attribute section, and then I change. Let's say I want to change the name from text view to my beautiful text. Then I click on enter. One thing to keep in mind is, for any attributes or for any view you use, you should give it an ID. Okay, it's like assigning a name to a particular person or a particular animal. So we assign an ID. The ID name is text view by default, but we can change the ID name, so we change it to my text. Okay, and my text is of type text view. Okay, so now when I want to change the properties from the activity file, or when I want to change this thing, or when I want to add the listeners to the button, or whatever I want to do with this. What I want to do is, let's say I want to change the property of this text view. Then I simply go to the activity which is calling this text view. First, I note down the type. It's a text view. So I go to main activity. Then I create a variable of type text view. Let's say TV. Then in order to call it, I simply type a method named find view by ID. Then I click r dot. Okay, so this my text is the ID. So I copy the ID, my text ID. Then I go to main activity r dot. I'm accessing by ID, so ID dot, and then my text was the ID. Now whatever I want to do, I can simply click on variable name dot. Now I'm provided with a lot of options. Like I can change the text, I can get the ID, or I can change the color. So whatever I want to do, I can do it from here. So for this project, we are using the wave view. We are using activity main. This wave view, we were using the wave view from palette. So from palette, we went to widgets, then we clicked on wave view. A wave view is a element which is used to load a particular website. So in our project, we are loading a particular website. So we are using a wave view. Wave view is nothing more than a button, or it's like a button. So wave view, we simply drag and drop the wave view like this. Okay. And then we change the name of the wave view. Now we select. You can see these are the things we are using. So right now we are using wave views. So I click on wave view, I go to attribute. Now I can see that it's the clicked one is of type wave view and its ID is shuffle. Let's say I want to change the name. So I write my wave. Okay. Then the name, I click on yes. The name of this wave view is now my wave. I can change the size. Now the ID is set and the type is wave view. I can also, apart from the design view, I can also check it in the code view. So this is the code view. Either I can write it like this, or I can simply drag and drop. For now, we are using this design feature, that is drag and drop. Now I click on this, I note the ID is my view. I simply copy, and then this is of type wave view. Now in order to access this, we go to the main activity or the activity which is using this, and then we click on wave. So this was wave view. We give it a name, and then the name equals to find viewer ID, and this particular thing is the name we have used here. Okay, now we're good to go. So wave dot, we click on the method name. For now, we need a method called load URL in order to load the URL under the semicolon. Sorry, under this double quotation mark. Now we give, let's say, a website name, and this website is now loaded in our Android app. Okay, so you can change your desired name. Instead of Mere Lagani, you can write whatever you like, or the website you want to load. Okay, and now when we run, everything or our build process is shown in the logcat. Now it is saying no connected device. Now let's say it is showing emulator, so we are running our app on the emulator. So like we said, The emulator is a virtual device or a virtual mobile phone in our laptop. So a virtual mobile phone is created for us using the emulator. Now these are the log files. Now we can see after some time the app in this emulator. Okay, wait for some time. Okay, so the invocation is finished and there were 0 errors. There we go. Our first app is now created and it will load the desired website. So this URL is being loaded in our app. Let's check it again. So this is our app, and when we click on this app, this website is being loaded. So that's all for today. Have a good day.